Hello and welcome to VistaTalks, interesting discussions with interesting people from all around the world. I'm your host for today, Priscillia Charles, and I'm joined today by not only one, but three special guests for a special episode of our VistaTalks podcast. So today I'm joined by Aoife Murphy, María, Jesús de Arriba, Díaz, and Teresa, Lawless. Welcome to the three of you. Thanks for being on the show.
Hello.
Hi, thank you, Priscillia.
Thanks for being on the show. I appreciate your time. I know you're very busy at the moment, so I won't keep you too long. But first, just to introduce you to our audience who don't know you yet. Aoife, you are Managing Director of the Fingerable Forum. María and Teresa, you're both Development Directors at the Fingerable Forum. And let's move on and get on to the show. So first, this is a special episode, as I mentioned, because it's the first time the three of you are on the show. We've had Teresa beforehand on the show. We've had Aoife, which is the first time we're having María, so we're very excited. And I'd like to discuss maybe your recent activities, but also, the Global Forum Summit Week, which is taking place very soon. And so you've all had a very busy 2020 year hosting in person before the pandemic hit us, but also a lot of virtual events. That was a very busy year. And tell me about the Thinkable Forum Summit Week that's taking place from March the 8th to the 12th. This is the first time, and it's a really historical and unique event for the organization. Tell me everything.
Thank you, Priscillia. The Think Global Forum Summit has been, I guess, in our minds from the early days. We have recognized throughout all the different events and conversations in our Think Global forums for different verticals that a lot of the topics and the challenges from the boardroom sessions, from the conversations were very similar. So as you said, it is the first time that we're bringing all our forum executives and the Think Global Forum community together. The sessions have been strategically designed to last only 2 hours per day, so that is not too disruptive to our guests. And the times have been planned in such a way that as many forum executives and attendees as possible from many different locations, be it Asia or sort of Eastern Europe, and also in America, can join us. The theme, or I guess the overriding objective of the summit is to bring that community together. We have facilitated and enabled that sense of community for the different verticals over the past 3+ years. And now it's about bringing everybody together, leveraging the intelligence of everybody in the room. And in a very sort of paradoxical kind of way, the global pandemic has facilitated or nearly kind of forced this to happen, which is fantastic. We've been wanting to do it from a very, very long time, and delighted that it is happening now in just about 4 weeks.
Wow, already 4 weeks. Well, I'm sure our audience is dying to maybe learn more about the event and what you've been up to for the past year. But may I ask, are you able to reveal some of the guest speakers and maybe some of the topics, or is it top secret information at this stage?
Well, following on from what María has just spoken about, the format of the week, as she mentioned, is 2 hours a day every afternoon. We are splitting it up into various sessions. We are having a keynote presentation on the first day, named to be revealed very soon. And the next 3 days are like our typical boardroom session, except I'd say it's more like a boardroom session with a twist. And this time, normally speaking, we have been the facilitators of the boardroom sessions, and we're going to flip things around a little bit for these sessions on the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and turn it over to our forum executives that have been attending these boardroom sessions for several years now. And we're going to turn it over to them to perhaps facilitate these sessions on topics that they would like to discuss, of course, backed up by our good selves, but mainly to have them as the force behind the conversation for those 3 days midweek. And then we're going to be finishing off having a grand finale on the Friday. Again, I'm afraid it's all yet to be revealed, but it'll be some ways in the direction of a masterclass with quite a well-known person. So looking forward to providing the details on that. And again, just in terms of the people in that, really, if you take a look at our website on thinkglobalforum.org and take a look at the forum executives and some of the speakers that we've had in the past, you'll see some of those again facilitating our sessions during the week, and of course some new people as well. So we're really looking forward to getting that moving.
Sounds very exciting. Well, I'm sure our audience will be keeping an eye on the more information to be released very soon. So workshops will be taking place from Tuesday to Thursday. So what are, can you tell us a little bit about the topics maybe that the attendees will be able to register for?
So yes, we're really looking forward actually to the different sessions that we've organized Tuesday to Thursday. They will be a mixture of interactive sessions with panelists and a workshop. So on the Wednesday, we're really looking forward to the World UX workshop. And this will be hosted by Maria. It's a follow-up to an excellent webinar which Maria held last November with some co-hosts from the industry. And during that webinar, they really focused on what the ideal world UX looks like, and also some key life topics and tips for the industry. So the workshop will be run as a follow-up to that. Then on the Tuesday, Aoife will be hosting Global Content Operations. And you'll have to wait and see in relation to the panelists and the specific topics. It's looking really excellent with some fantastic forum executives with lots of experience in that area. And then on Thursday, we're looking at global technical communication. So we'll be looking a little bit at the global kind of challenges when it comes to technical communication, how things may have changed. But again, we'll be fine-tuning the topics with the panelists, and we'll look forward to sharing more information when we can.
Sounds very exciting. Thanks so much, Teresa. And the three of you, as I mentioned, have been obviously, very involved in the Thinkable Forum and had a fantastic and very busy year last year. So I understand that Aoife, you started up back in 2016 when the Thinkable Forum was launched, and Maria, you started, correct me if I'm wrong, was it 2016 as well, or was it a little bit later? 2016 as well. And Teresa, 2019 when you joined the organization. So obviously the organization has changed, and we've seen, over 25 in person and a lot of virtual events last year with hundreds of C-level executives from fantastic, global brands. So tell me, how do you think in your opinion, how has the organization changed, since its launch?
Well, I guess some things have changed, but some things have very much remained the same. The mission of the Think Global Forum was to bring together like-minded people in the business of going global, so that they could share discussions in a comfortable format. None of the discussions outside of the boardroom are shared. It's a good way for people to exchange challenges and solutions, etc. And that continues to be the way. And we've been very careful about that. And it's very easy to go in a different direction and look for sponsorship and one thing or another. But we've kept it like this for all of that time. And I think that's part of the appeal of the Think Global Forum, is this bringing together of minds in that kind of a setting. In terms of what's changed, I'm happy to say that it's definitely gathered momentum, that we have a lot of people coming back. We have new faces all of the time. There's definitely an appetite for this type of a setting. So I think in terms of how it's changed, I think it's just grown. We've seen it evolve in the US as well. We have gone down the road of verticals in Europe. Now we're evolving into having forums in different countries, different cities, and now culminating really into this very large summit event. So bigger and better, but at the heart, it's still the same message, still the same mission.
Thanks, Aoife. And the Thinkable Forum, so we mentioned, so has this mission of being an innovative global leadership initiative, brings together executive level leading minds and thought leaders from various sectors within the wider community. Obviously, a lot of, some of our executives are from the localization industry, but other industries as well. And the purpose is really to generate new, creative, insightful, inspiring strategic thinking in the industry and, its growth potential, likely evolution, and relevant applicable diversification. So in your opinion, how important and beneficial this organization has been for the localization industry, because we offer, insights, as you mentioned, different verticals, including the life sciences industry, manufacturing, retail and e-commerce, travel and technology, some of the industry that obviously we provide insights and thought leadership of. What makes it unique? So you mentioned, obviously the fact that it's niche, but what makes it unique really?
I think it really is, Priscillia, the fact that the Think Global Forum provides a safe, secure platform, be it through the events or otherwise, for leaders who share similar challenges to learn from each other. It's the sort of the breadth, but the depth of the open, the honest conversations, the willingness that everybody has to share and to learn from others, and from forum executives or other Think Global Forum members. It's not about sort of theoretical conversations. It's really about kind of real life instances of challenges, of learnings, opportunities. So as many companies and organizations embrace digital transformation, what does this mean for sort of global content and kind of the global aspect of digital transformation, and how do the leaders behind those efforts can collaborate with each other? So from my perspective, and I think our executives, forum executives and our members value very much that aspect of togetherness, that it is a safe and kind of a secure place where they can openly discuss with peers what their challenges are or what the opportunities are, and I think that's the real value.
That's what makes it unique. Thanks, María. And so, some of these, most of the Think Global Forum have these boardroom discussions, as you mentioned. So, are there any engaging discussions that you feel were important to the wider content localization industry that have been debated at some of these recent boardroom meetings, or in general with the forum executives? In your opinion, what would you say?
Really, as María had said, we have a lot of really interesting, engaging discussions. And the fact that the boardroom session and the discussion is not recorded really means that our forum executives can actually be very open about their approach, maybe about the solutions that they have found, what it's like to collaborate with other teams. And they seem to be the prevailing kind of topics that just come up again and again. But there's an openness in the discussion, which is just fantastic. We say, as an example, just last year, we had one live event in January in Amsterdam. The rest were virtual events. And never was there a better time to have a virtual event where you could discuss the global challenges that people, and executives have in making sure that the content they're producing has relevance and purpose with audiences, and just making sure that the processes around that are working with collaboration with various teams as well.
Absolutely, thanks. And one aspect of the Think Global Forum that we haven't mentioned yet is the community that was launched over a year ago. So it is available to our forum executive, but can you tell me a little bit more about it for anyone who is interested in the community?
So the Think Global Forum community, it's a gated community where forum executives and full members of the Think Global Forum community can continue to exchange ideas and brainstorm and collaborate past events, and they can collaborate at any point, really. They can connect in a secure and private setting. Everybody gets specific logins, and everybody's encouraged to participate in the different discussions, in the different threads that already exist, suggest new topics and new threads, and that way continue to leverage the global intelligence of all the members.
Fantastic, thank you. And then I wanted to get more into the pandemic that obviously has had such a terrible impact on, psychologically, economically on many of us, but that has drastically changed our way of, doing business and living in general. So obviously, in events person, as we mentioned, we were lucky enough to be able to host this Think Global Forum in Amsterdam in January of 2020. But a lot of, and most of the events person these days are just moved to virtual. So with this new digital, first way of life and doing business, how do you see the Think Global Forum and, moving, in like a few years? And do you think that hybrid events are like the new way of doing things? And what are your thoughts on how will event take place in the future?
I think that we are all desperately looking forward to having live events again. I think there's a spontaneity at live events that we would really welcome, like having a cup of coffee, just sitting down to have a chat, as well as having planned meetings as well. But live events are a way of making friends within the industry that you keep as well, which is always great. But there is an ease to the virtual event as well. So I think that it'll be really interesting to see what happens with events in the future, because we're bound to bring some of the elements of the virtual event with us as we have the live events again. There will be maybe some kind of hybrid approach, but I think for now we're all really looking forward to having live events.
Thanks, Teresa. And may I just ask before we end this interview, what's 2021 looking like? You're hosting this fantastic summit in a few weeks' time. What about the rest of the year? Is there anything else you want to share with our audience today?
Well, there's never really a dull moment in the Think Global Forum organization. Just today, I think we announced the shortlist for the Think Global Awards. So the winners for that, I guess, will be announced very soon. So we're busy working on that. Following on from our event the week of the 8th of March, I think we'll be looking stateside, and our US counterparts will be organizing some events over there over the coming months. And then later in the year, back to what Teresa was saying, it'll be, do we have a virtual event? Do we have an in-person event? And that remains to be seen. We'd like to take the Think Global Forum to other countries in the Nordic region and in Germany also. So it really depends what the end of this year looks like, but be sure there will be several events, both Europe-wide and stateside, in the coming months. So stay tuned for that.
So, well, thank you again so much to the three of you for being on the show for this special episode discussing the Think Global Forum and the Think Global Forum Summit Week, coming soon, March the 8th to the 12th, 2021. So it is already the end of today's show with Aoife Murphy, Managing Director of the Think Global Forum, and María, Jesús, Díaz, and Teresa, Lawless, both Development Directors at the Think Global Forum. So please make sure to tune in again to watch or listen to our next VistaTalks show, where we'll be discussing more interesting topics with interesting people from all around the world. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.